Everyone, and welcome back to our course on the theory and algorithms of knowledge tracing. Today, we're diving into Chapter 2, the era of early innovations and refinements, spanning from 1990 to 2014. This was a pivotal time when researchers began to truly grapple with the fundamental truth about learning. Knowledge is dynamic. Let's explore the groundbreaking work from this era. As we move into the 90s and 2000s, the field of knowledge tracing, or KT, started to mature. The core challenge was to move beyond static snapshots of a student's knowledge and start modeling it as something that changes over time. This chapter is all about the key algorithms developed during this period. We'll see how they introduced crucial concepts like time, multi-skills, and personalization. Specifically, we'll cover 5 major approaches, starting with the foundational BKT, then its various extensions, the introduction of forgetting, models based on learning factors, and finally, the application of classic machine learning techniques. Let's get started. Our first stop is Bayesian knowledge tracing, or BKT, arguably the most influential model of this era. The question BKT sought to answer was simple yet profound. How can we dynamically track a student's mastery of a single skill, updating our assessment after every single problem they attempt? At its heart, BKT uses a hidden Markov model. Think of the student's true knowledge state, whether they know the skill or not, as a hidden switch. We can't see it directly, but we can observe their answers. Using Bayes' theorem, BKT updates the probability of that hidden switch being on, known, or off, unknown, based on each observed answer. This update relies on 4 key parameters: the initial probability of knowing the skill, the probability of learning it, and the probabilities of guessing or slipping up on a question. A great way to think about BKT is like a dynamic scorecard. With every problem a student solves, we recalculate their mastery score, giving us a real-time picture of their learning journey. While BKT was revolutionary, it had its limits. Real-world problems are rarely about just one skill. So researchers began to extend BKT. Models like MS-BKT, which stands for Multi-Skill BKT, allowed a single problem to practice multiple skills simultaneously. CGS-BKT, or Contextual Guess and Slip BKT, recognized that guessing and slipping aren't fixed. A hard problem might make guessing less likely and slipping more likely. And IBKT, Individualized BKT, took it a step further by creating a unique model for each student. Essentially, these extensions transformed BKT from a simple, single-player, single-skill game into a complex dashboard. It's like upgrading from tracking just your speed in a race to tracking your speed, fuel efficiency, tire wear, and weather conditions all at once. This made the models much more powerful and realistic. One of the most human aspects of learning is also one of the most frustrating. We forget things. The original BKT model assumed that once a skill was learned, it was known forever. That's not how our brains work. To address this, researchers introduced the concept of forgetting into BKT. The idea is straightforward. If a student doesn't practice a skill for a while, the probability that they still know it should decrease over time. This is modeled using a time decay factor. Imagine your scorecard from BKT now has a forget button. If you don't review a topic, the score slowly drops, reflecting the natural process of memory decay. This simple addition made the model significantly more accurate in representing real learning and forgetting cycles. Not everyone was satisfied with the probabilistic approach of BKT. Some researchers asked, what if we just look at a student's history of successes and failures? Can we use that to predict the future? This line of thinking led to a family of models called learning factor analysis, including LFA, AFM, and PFA. These are essentially applications of logistic regression. They treat a student's past performance, like the number of times they've succeeded or failed at a skill, as features in a model to predict their next attempt. Think of it like a learning progress bar in a video game. Each success fills the bar a little more. Each failure might empty it a bit. These models quantify exactly how much each success or failure moves that bar, giving a direct and intuitive way to measure progress. By the 2000s, machine learning was becoming a powerful tool across many fields. Researchers in KT started to ask, can we use these advanced classification algorithms to get better predictions? The answer was yes. Models like support vector machines, SVM, and random forests, RF, were applied to the KT problem. Instead of building a model based on psychological theories, they treated KT as a pure classification task. Given a student's history, classify their next answer as correct or incorrect. Random forest, in particular, is a great example. It's an ensemble method, meaning it builds many decision trees and combines their predictions. If a single decision tree is like one expert teacher, a random forest is like a panel of experts voting on the final answer. This wisdom of the crowd approach often leads to more robust and accurate predictions than any single model. So, let's wrap up this chapter. The period from 1990 to 2014 was a time of incredible innovation. Researchers tackled the core challenge of modeling dynamic knowledge by introducing concepts like time, multi-skills, personalization, and forgetting. We saw how BKT laid the foundation and how its extensions made it more powerful. We explored the learning factor models that offered a simpler, more direct approach, and we saw the first hints of the power of machine learning in this domain. These early models, while simple by today's standards, were crucial. They defined the problem space and proved that it was possible to track and predict learning in real time. Their successes and their limitations set the stage for the next major revolution in knowledge tracing, the deep learning era. Speaking of the deep learning era, that's exactly where we're headed next. In Chapter 3, we'll explore the explosion of research from 2015 to 2019. Led by the groundbreaking deep knowledge tracing model, we'll see how neural networks like RNNs and LSTMs transformed the field, leading to unprecedented leaps in prediction accuracy. Stay tuned.